Back to our regular Bible stories. Gomer and Hosea. Who on earth were those guys? Well, Hosea was a prophet, and he loved the Lord with all of his heart. He was a young man, loved the Lord with all of his heart, and he heard a word from the Lord one night as he was sleeping. He thought he was asleep, but actually it was God's voice from heaven. And the Lord told him, Hosea, I want you to marry a prostitute. No, Hosea woke up and said, what on earth is this? A bad dream or what? And the Lord continued on, no, Hosea, it's me, it's the Lord. I want you to marry a prostitute. And he thought, why, Lord? Why would I do that? I love you. I want to keep your commandments. And the Lord said, just do what I say. So Hosea looked around a little bit, and he wasn't really into it at all. But he found one, and her name was Gomer. You ever hear of a lady named Gomer? I heard of Gomer Pyle. Gomer. And she, had walked by him. And he took her as his wife and married her. And it wasn't very long, but he woke up one night and she wasn't there. He wondered what happened to Gomer. So he went out looking for her, and he found her at somebody else's house. And he brought her back home again. And she just couldn't stay home. She had to want to go out and kind of shop the field, I guess, shop in the store, see what else was out there. But in the meantime, when she was doing all this shopping of men, they had 3 children, and Gomer continued her vile lifestyle. And poor Hosea thought, why, Lord, what did I get myself into? And he had to go out many nights, looking in today's terms, or the 1920s, where he was looking in all the speakeasies, looking in all the bars, looking in all of the houses of ill repute, going down, looking for Gomer. And he always had to bring her home again and start over. And she said, yeah, she'd be good, but it never worked out. So Hosea had his hands full, and he was really getting upset. He had 3 kids after all, and I imagine they did, and I imagine he was probably stuck with washing the diapers, doing the dishes, doing the cooking, raising the kids, and not knowing where Gomer was. I mean, things happen in the Old Testament. We usually think of people, the old prophets, as going around with staffs and long robes and their long white beards as old men. And no, Isaiah was a young man, and he had family problems big time because his wife wasn't faithful. And one night he was searching and searching. It was getting toward daybreak, and he's still searching and searching. And he saw in town there was some sort of an auction going on. So he went over to the auction, and here they were auctioning off slaves. And he looked up onto the stage. They'd bring them up and say, what am I bid, what am I bid? I don't know if they said it in cowboy language, but I don't know how to say that in Hebrew. And anyway, he saw his wife up there, and she looked awful. Her hair was not combed, she was disheveled, she was dirty, her clothes were dirty and ripped, and she looked tired and old. She looked awful, just awful. Well, the auction was going on, and came to put Gomer up there on the stage. Nobody really wanted her. But Hosea felt so terrible, just terrible about his wife. So he went up to the auctioneer and he paid a very high price to get her back. He was following the Lord's instructions, but he had also built up a love for her, compassion and pity in his heart. And he went up, he picked up Gomer. She was sick and weak and tired and dirty. He picked her up and he carried her. After he paid the auctioneer, he carried her home. And she was so grateful. And he was good to his wife. And I love this story because the Lord spoke to Hosea and said, Hosea, you know why I had you go through this, all of this? He said, because now you see how I feel, what my people Israel have done to me. He said, I have loved them through it all. I have wanted to bring them back through it all. And finally, I had to send my son, Jesus Christ, and he paid a very high price to get them back. And he's going to carry them home. This was before Jesus was born. So when I say he paid, that's me talking, but he said he will pay a very high price to bring them back home, because I said I wanted to be married to my people Israel. And so this is the story of Hosea in the Old Testament. But bringing out a lot of these Old Testament stories now, just get back to the little stories. But what a beautiful story of the high price of love. Sometimes it comes at a very high price. Okay, I'll stop there. I'll let you go. Bye-bye.